Welcome back to the Podyssey. It's Trent Time, and today we're going to be talking about the basketball season. We have the last 9 games that we're going to break down, and then we're going to talk about the remaining part of the schedule. So this episode was actually supposed to be filmed last week, but the big winter storm hit, and we were out all week, so I didn't have any of my equipment to shoot. But we're here now, so it's all good. I haven't really done a podcast in a minute. Last one I done was on a beautiful Bop and Boom and Berkeley's podcast. We did do basketball, but it was on their podcast, so haven't had a segment of Trent's Time in a minute. So I'm glad to be back. Let's get to it. So we missed the game yesterday. They played Westland at Westland, won. So from the January 9th to February 3rd, we are 8-0 through an 8 game span, 14-1 overall, and 9-0 in conference play. I will say their key wins are probably Aiken and St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius was ranked 13th in the state, and North exposed them. I'm going to jump right into that real quick because it was crazy. The first 12 minutes of the game, it was 33-8. I don't even think St. Ignatius scored 20 points at the half. Like you put that number by their name, they come up here in Westerville, and we send them back to Cleveland like that. So, like I said, it just was a big surprise to me. But to be honest, am I really surprised? North is just really good this year. I could probably make a claim that they're just as good as last year, maybe even better, but I won't go too far on that. So, but they're pretty equal in my opinion. So, we'll get into the next part of it. So right now, North is the front runner of the conference, 9-0. They got 4 more conference games, which I'm not too worried about. So we'll just take the OCC. I think if we win Friday against Big Walnut, that should probably give us the conference because we haven't lost yet. I think everyone's dropped one. It maybe just depends on who else we have left. I think we have Big Walnut, Kilbourne, Scioto, and man, who's the other one? Maybe I'm missing one more. So 4 more conference games. I can't think of the last one. And I think, to be honest, this back end might be the toughest part of our schedule. We're home against Orange on the 10th, but I'm really not too worried about Orange because they are in a tough conference, but they did lose a lot last year from going to the uh, state championship and winning it last year. They lost some key players, and Devin Brown, Levi Davis now plays football for OU. He left early to go enroll into OU. They got a transfer from North that plays football, which now is going to OU for football with Levi Davis. MC Walker is on the basketball team. He did play for North basketball, I think, sophomore, just a sophomore year, maybe freshman and sophomore year. No, sophomore year, sorry. And they got Trayton Schroeder was part of the championship team too. He's pretty shifty, and he's always been good for a good facilitator for Orange. And then you're at Pick Central. Haven't heard too much about them. I know last night they lost to a pretty tough Newark team. Newark is still undefeated in the season, and they're looking pretty good in Division One. Newark's always been known for playing good, fundamentally sound basketball. My sophomore year, 2 years ago, yeah, we lost to them in the district finals, and they were just fundamentally sound and just showed up to play. Then we're at Lima Senior on the 21st. Pick Central's on the 17th, and then the 21st, you're at Lima Senior. That is probably going to be the toughest game of the season outside of the one loss we had against Lutheran East. They're a pretty good team. First, you got to travel about 2 hours away to go play this team, and you're playing Willie and Sean Foster. They're pretty good. Willie's going to Northern Kentucky, and Sean's still deciding where to go, but he's probably going to go to a big Division One school, if not a Division One school. And then their last game is at home versus Liberty on the 24th. Haven't heard much from Liberty. Also, like Olentangy School is the only one I've been really hearing about is the regular Olentangy, and they're doing pretty good right now. Now I don't know if they've played any tough teams yet, but still, I think they're still unbeaten. But like I said, unbeaten is unbeaten. You haven't lost yet. You're doing something pretty good. So all credit goes to Olentangy. But Liberty, I really haven't heard much about. I bet you they're probably doing good because they did pretty good last year. Probably doing the same this year as last year. So not too much on them. But yeah, this is probably the toughest part of our schedule. I mean, outside of the week we lost against Lutheran East, we could drop one to Lima Senior, but I will say the one thing about North is their defense is phenomenal. Probably one of the best defenses in Central Ohio, if not the best. Like you said, you take the St. Ignatius game and even put 20 points up at halftime. I mean, I don't even think they hit 20 points until like 2 minutes out of the half. Like I said, North's defense is so fast it throws off offenses. Some of the games, like you look at North's schedule, they've been winning by 50, 40, 20. Like, I mean, outside of the Aiken game where they had a late comeback and ended up winning 67-60, and then the loss, North has been dominating so far. They haven't really been dominated yet outside of the one loss. But like I said, you're going to drop one or two. But I'm not too worried about North going into playoffs. That will be an episode we do, or multiple episodes, because we are going to track North going into the playoffs and how they make a deep run, because I am really confident in North going back to the state championship. The way they play now, they have facilitators and like Tyson and Elijah, and they got Tony, they got Damien. They got some pretty big names on there, and they're physical too. Like they're not afraid to get down and crash on the boards. They can score. They'll find ways to score. They'll find ways to facilitate. Like I said, I wouldn't go as far as they're better than the last year's team, but they're probably just as good because the kids that are starting now, they've got exposure last year because the team was so good. You get the kids on the bench, and it's just a system they're working with. So I'm not too worried about North. That's it for this episode. We'll cover the back end of the season. We got 20 more days until the season is officially over, and we'll just track throughout the playoffs. So that's it for this episode, and I'll talk to you later.